Hi there, welcome. I got another short update. Just gonna get started. It has a mixed bag. It's got some indie, some 60s, some soundtracks, some soul, some weird stuff, and classic rock. So let's get started. First up, a new record. Pre-ordered this at a record store that is in Amsterdam that I basically buy all my newer records from, almost all. Um, and that is the album Deerhoof's Future Teenage Cave Artists. This is their newest album. Came out, well, a couple of weeks ago. It's a pretty apocalyptic album. It's colored vinyl. Is there something more in here? It usually is, but this time, yeah, it's just a download code. I can grab it. Yeah, just a little download code. Um, and it's one of their more odd records. Um, Most recent albums, they tended to be a little bit more melodic, a little bit more catchy. Um, but this one, they're going pretty experimental again. I really love it because Deerhoof is one of my favorite bands. But if you're not well known with Deerhoof, chances are you're not going to like it. It's a little weird. Now, all the records I'm going to show you now, with the exception of the last one, picked up at one thrift store. They were pretty affordable, except for one. Maybe that is overpriced, but you don't really see it that often in Dutch stores, let alone thrift stores. So I'm going to start with that. This is a late 60s album. I believe it's from 1969. It doesn't say, or does it? Yeah, it's 1969. And this is Cartoon, self-titled album. It's pretty busted, but it's an okay copy, I guess. I don't know. On Atlantic. It's their only album that they did, and what is it? It's very late 60s pop, but not psych. It's not even bubblegum, but it kind of is. It's definitely not of its time. It's not forward thinking. This is really stuff that had been, and they're rehashing it. So it's enjoyable. I liked it, but I can understand people going like, "This is not good. This is bad music." But I had to pick it up because stuff you don't see that often here. Next up is an album that I used to have. I don't know. I probably gave it away, sold it. I don't know. Um, but this is the soundtrack by Ennio Morricone for the movie Le Professionnal. This is from the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1981. This was when Jean-Paul Belmondo was a huge action star in France and maybe even Europe. Mostly police, uh, hello, police movies, cop movies, sort of Dirty Harry type films, but done in Europe. That is Ennio Morricone. The most famous song of this album is a song called Chimay, which is the last title there. Uh, that is still on a lot of his compilations, and whenever he did perform, he performed that song as well. Um, it's an enjoyable soundtrack. It's Ennio Morricone. Gotta have it. Up next, Marcia Hines with Take It From the Boys. This is the Dutch edition on Friends. That's Marcia. I believe she's Australian. And this has a couple of really cool tracks, but a lot of corny tracks as well. But yeah, soul, disco, boogie. Marcia Hines. Next one, that was a special one. I love picking up records that you never ever see at thrift stores. There's enough you'd never ever see on thrift stores, but there's a reason for it. This one, when I saw it, I picked it up, looked at it, saw a name, and I was like, oh yeah. Then I came home and looked at what year it's from. I thought, oh yeah. When I played, I was like, oh. We're talking about Zizi Jean-Marie. Zizi Jean-Marie, that's her. And Zizi Jean-Marie is a French singer. Now, the cover looked interesting. It's called Casino de Paris, Nouvelle Revue de Roland Petit, Zizi Je t'aime. That's the whole title, I guess. I don't know. And I was like, okay. And then the name, this name, I saw that Chansons de Serge Gainsbourg. So the songs are all written by Serge Gainsbourg. Yeah, obviously you pick it up. Turns out this is from 1972. Yeah, Melody Nelson came out around that time. Wow, this has got to be a lost, forgotten album by Serge Gainsbourg, at least his music, sounding like Melody Nelson. Nope. This sounds like Liza Minnelli doing, I don't know, burlesque type music. I don't know. Cabaret music. It sounds a lot like that. It was an interesting idea on CBS, but it just totally lets you down. This is Serge Gainsbourg, but I don't know. I honest to God don't know. Next record, I had it, I sold it, and I'm gonna sell it again. Reason is, picked it up for $1 and it goes for a little bit more. I haven't checked it yet, but it's a Vertigo Swirl. Yeah, I sometimes find Vertigo Swirls. I think this is the third one I found so far. And the second time I picked this one up. This is Rod Stewart's Gasoline Alley. This is an okay album. Classic rock. So, gatefold. There's Mr. Stewart looking like a bum. This was before he thought he was sexy. And I believe this is his second album. And like I showed you, it's a Vertigo Swirl, German pressing. Had to pick it up for $1. And I'm definitely gonna resell this. It's in really decent shape, actually pretty good shape. So I can fetch some euros from this one. So yeah, that's it. That's my update. It's short. Hope you enjoyed it. Not much to show because thrift stores are pretty bare. I hope I try to go there once a week, but they are pretty bare. It's not a lot of cool records out there. So if I find stuff like this, I pick it up. So hopefully it will change. But then again, you never know. Thank you for watching and leave some comments if you want to. And see you next time. Bye-bye.